Today we're going to go through Adobe Express versus Canva for the 4 use cases that I use it for, which are workbooks, slides, thumbnails, and templates, and which one is better. This is probably an important question, especially if you have Adobe Creative Cloud already and Adobe Express Premium is already included. And just to be clear, Adobe Express is free to use just like Canva, and then if you want some premium features, you do have to pay a little extra. So let's figure that out today. The first thing to note is price. So if you are not already an Adobe Creative Cloud subscriber, you will have to pay for the premium features inside of Adobe Express, which are $9.99 per month, versus Canva, which is 50% higher at $14.99 per month. So that's one thing. Now, if you haven't seen this, I just did a quick analysis inside of Napkin, which actually was not that useful. If you've never used Napkin, you can type things in or you can have it use the AI. And then once you hit that little, I guess, lightning bolt thingy on the left, it will take your data and it will put it in some really, I'm gonna just say outdated 1980s looking infographics, if anyone remembers making slides back in the 80s. But maybe for corporate America, that's great and very exciting. But anyways, moving on from there, let's talk about first, because I made some notes, slides. So here's the big thing inside of Canva, and I have this problem in Canva all the time. My slides are vertical. So if I was to choose, let's say presentation, and I was gonna look for Canva templates, let's say, how about this? It's a pitch deck, doesn't really matter. Has some different pages and they're all landscape, right? So all I have to do is go over here to the top left, and it's already in there because I use 8.5, 11 all the time. And I'll say, resize this design, and it will do its little magic. And now I can see all the pages in the 8.5 by 11. And now it's done, right? Nothing to worry about. However, inside of Adobe Express, if I try to do the same thing, I look for presentations, and even though I put 8.5 by 11 a million times, it's not going to remember it. I could just say flyer size over here, and I'm going to say resize. Here's the problem. It resized the current page I'm on. Every other page is now landscape. So now I don't know how long your presentation is or the template that you're using. You will have to go through every single page and do that one by one. I don't know why. I know you're like, hey, there's a bulk create. Bulk create does not work like that. That is not what it does. So that's like strike one against them. The other thing is elements. So let's just say I have, well, anything open. And inside of Canva, if I want to add some elements over here, I have a pretty big library of different types of things that I can add, and also some different things here at the top. So let's just search for purple stars. And I just really like purple. Obviously, it's my brand color. But I have videos, I have photos, I have frames, I have like over here for graphics, I have photos, I have a ton of different things. Now, when I go into Adobe Express and I go over to Elements and I search for purple stars, I get not a lot of stuff. So I have design assets, and it's just, yes, there's stuff there, but I would argue that the stuff that I see inside of Canva is just better, and there's just more variety and more to choose from. So that's number one. Backgrounds, shapes, and all the shapes I asked for purple. All these shapes are black and white. Same thing, icons, they're all black and white. So to me, that's another strike against them. The third thing is uploads. I upload a lot of my own photos, and over here inside of Adobe Express, every time I want to do an upload, it brings up this box where I have to add something one by one. And this is the number one reason why I left Google Slides, is because I was using the same things in images over and over again. And I was sick of like having to search and hunt for them, because I have a file folder structure organization going on for my hard drive, versus over here in Canva. Once I upload something, I can actually go in here and I can give it some tags. Like I can say thumbnail, I can say YouTube, pretty fabulous. So I can easily search for things later on. So if I search for pretty fabulous, so everything that's been tagged as PF, I can find it right away. So to me, that's again another negative for Adobe Express. The other thing too is the one thing that you'd think Adobe Express would totally rock at is fonts. because if you have Adobe Creative Cloud, or if you paid, I think for the, to be a premium member, you should get access to, like it says, premium Adobe fonts. So you don't have to pay for extra fonts. They're already like built in there. So when I go here, it looks just like inside of Canva. When I go to text, all of these different text, I guess, layouts, that's all I'm seeing inside of Adobe Express over here. I can't actually search for a particular font. So there's some fonts that start with the word Adobe. I'm not going to see that whole list of fonts. So again, I thought it was going to be a positive, but it's really negative. Instead, you're just getting, you know, the standard text layouts, and that's it. The other thing is, so this is one thing that Adobe does well. I know I've been knocking them. They do shapes very well. So if I head over here to, where is it? Elements, and I'm going to add a shape, any shape. We're going to add, let's say, a rectangle, right? Looks pretty boring. So on Canva, you have to go to the top to like make changes. Over here, it's already built in. So I can just stay right here where I am. I can change that to a pink, or obviously I would change it to a purple, right? And then over here for border, I can change that border to another color, maybe a pink. And I can also, for this border thickness, I can make it thick or thin right here on the left, like instantaneous. And those corners, I can round them pretty quickly. Whereas inside of Canva, if I go ahead and I add a shape, so let's not do our purpose, let's just add that basic same shape again. So here, to change it, I have to hit up here for the color, then I have to look for a color over here, and I have to change it there. Now, if I want to change the border, I have to hit the border, I have to get a border weight, I have to change this, then I have to pick out a color over here. Whoops, that's not true. I have to then choose the border and then choose a border color over here. And then if I want to make the corners rounded, I have to go over here and I have to go to round. So I guess from a workflow standpoint, and it is much better inside of Adobe Express than it is in Canva. So adding up all those points, it's still a -2 for making slides in Adobe Express, and mostly because I have to resize all of those things, everything else I already said, than it is in Canva. So Canva still wins. So number 2 is workbooks, and pretty much it's the same. You know, I'm going to need to put everything in workbooks into an 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to have to resize it, all those same things, the elements. Now, the only thing that you would think that Adobe Express could do better, same thing with the font, is I thought it could be a fillable workbook, right? So in case you're thinking, so I left InDesign, not Google Slides, I left InDesign for Canva for workbooks. And mostly I think Molly and I did this because we were coordinating with each other, and emailing back an InDesign file back and forth is like very cumbersome. So, or really any file with anybody, it doesn't matter if it's Microsoft or anything else. In Adobe InDesign is more difficult because the fonts, someone has to, even if I give Molly all of the fonts I'm using, she has to install them on her computer. Then after she installs them, all of the images that are inside of, let me bring up Adobe InDesign, all the images that are inside of Adobe's InDesign, this image here, oh, I don't know why he's giving me those tips. Everything you see inside of any Adobe InDesign file, all of these characters, the crime scene tape, all of that, it has to be linked to somewhere on her hard drive. So every time she opens up a file, she has to relink it and redo it. So it's much more difficult to coordinate when you're just emailing an InDesign file. So I was thinking, because inside of here, let's say I want to make a fillable form, because that's typically what people do when you have an Adobe file. So let's just say, obviously there's no form here. Let's just make a box over here, and let me give it a border so you can actually see it. Okay, so here's my border. I'm gonna make this like a form someone can fill out. So inside of Adobe InDesign, I would go up here to the interactive menu, buttons and forms, and I would change this to, let's say, a text field. And now it's a text field. And all I have to do is when I export this, when I export this file, I just need to make sure I export it as an Adobe interactive PDF. And now I have a workbook, right? It's a fillable workbook. If I am inside of Canva, I can't do this. So Canva, you know, it's really a wash. You can't do this in Canva. You need to put it in Adobe PDF and make fields and do something else post-production. Same thing with Adobe Express. So I was totally thinking like, oh, hey, it's Adobe Express. Clearly there is no way to make this an interactive form. So inside of Adobe InDesign, it's a little confusing because if you go inside of Adobe InDesign, when you go to File, there is an option over here that says Export to Adobe Express. And so you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is the answer to everything. I can export this. It's going to be editable inside of Adobe Express just like it is in InDesign. It is not. Adobe InDesign has a lot of great features, some of them more difficult to learn than others. However, when I open up this same file, and I'll show you because I already did it, inside of here, if we go to your stuff, there it is. So here's the file that I opened up from Adobe InDesign. I use that file open in Adobe Express. Some stuff is editable, some stuff is not. So first of all, I'm on page 7. And heck, if I know where page 1 is, I don't know. It says page 7 of a 7. I'm not even sure. Let's see if I page up, page down. I'm not even sure how to find pages inside of here. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's a user error. That's on me. But if I want to change stuff, for some reason, there's a lock button. I don't know. Images can be replaced. So I'm trying to unlock it. I don't know why it can't be locked. I know for sure I did not lock this inside of the Adobe InDesign file. Let's head back over to page 1, and anything inside of here that I want to go ahead and edit, I can edit, right? So, but for some reason inside of Adobe Express, not everything is editable. Some things are editable, some things are not editable. I'm not really sure what's going on. Now, if I downloaded this as a PDF, so this is also where where Canva wins. So very recently, Canva added the ability to edit PDFs. So if I take that same PDF, I just drag and drop it here into Canva, then I can go ahead and open it up, and it's going to have the same editability, editability, is that even a word? I don't know, as, let's get rid of that, as Adobe Express. So is it the best? No, but you know what? If I open this up inside of Adobe Express, which clearly I can't do the page thing right. There we go. It's going to be the same thing. Some of it's editable, some of it's not. And so to me, it's kind of a wash for both of these, but it was an opportunity, I want to say, for Adobe Express to shine if it had some of the capabilities that Adobe InDesign had, but maybe in an easier to use like format or clickable drag and drop interface. So Workbook, same thing, -2 for Adobe Express, points for Canva. And the third one is templates. So here's the thing with templates. It doesn't really matter what the size is, but when I'm inside of Canva, and this is kind of a wash because you can create a link for both of them. And the link that you create, so if I want to share a template with anyone, I am going to, I don't know why it's telling me this. So if I want to share this as a template, there we go. See all, I can go to template link over here, and it's going to create a URL for me. Same thing inside of Adobe Express. If I want to share this as over here, the top right, I can share this and I can make it a template, and it's going to create a link for me as well. So both of them, they can be used with the free version, but they do require an account for you to use them and then to use the premium features. So I feel like Canva was still the winner only because if you sell somebody an Adobe Express template, are they going to be excited? I don't know, maybe, I'm guessing no, because I did a poll recently and I said, who's excited about using Adobe Express? And 40% of the people said, what is Adobe Express? I've never even heard of it. So, and then the rest of the people, the majority said, I don't want it. I'd rather have Canva. And then other people said, sure. I think it was like 16% were like, yes, I would love an Adobe Express template. So, and I bet those people that wanted a template wanted it for social media, not necessarily for a workbook or for slide decks or for any other kind of design. So like a planner. So that is number 3, points to Canva, just because everyone's heard of them and no one's heard of Adobe Express. Number 4 is YouTube thumbnails. So I would say these are about even because I don't need to do anything special with a YouTube thumbnail inside of here. In fact, if you were going to, if I had to choose, I would say Canva's better only because if I do YouTube thumbnail and you get some Canva templates inside of here, you're going to notice that the YouTube thumbnail options for Canva are much more It's the word modern, fresh, up to date, versus inside of Adobe Express, if I search over here for a YouTube thumbnail. So first of all, let's just say YouTube thumbnail. So over here, okay, so thumbnail. So over here on the left, all of these designs that you see, they look to me like kind of like designs. One, I don't think they're going to convert very well. And two, they look like they're a little dated. I don't want to say 90s because YouTube didn't exist then, but maybe the 2010s. I don't know, the 2000s. But either way, these do not look as good as the templates that you can choose from inside of Canva, which I do think would probably convert a little bit better. In fact, a lot better, honestly. So the overall winner is Canva by and far in every single category, which yes, it does pain me to say that because of two things. One, I am a huge Adobe fan. I love all of their products like the InDesign, Photoshop, Adobe Premiere. I use all of them. And on top of that, I also have Adobe Creative Cloud, so the premium version of Adobe Express is included in what I already pay, so I would love it if it worked out, but it just does not. Now, will that change in the future? I'm going to say probably not, only because Adobe has always been really behind in that area of kind of dumbing down, is that the right word? Like making their tools more accessible and fun and easy to use and more popular. And also, if you think about AI, the features that are being incorporated into Canva, I'll make another video, but Canva has teamed up with Leonardo. Well, they haven't teamed up. They bought Leonardo. So the AI features inside of Canva are improving. They're like actually growing within the AI area. And I'm not sure why, but Photoshop just has it. And I think it's because of that sort of like superior egalitarian thing where you're like, you know what, you just need to be able to use the tools that we've already provided to do all those cool features that AI can now do with a click. And so instead, Canva has said, you know what, we know you don't like to learn how to do those things. You want to just do things with a click. So we're just going to make things easy, drag and drop, clickable magic happens in 2 seconds. In fact, a lot of their projects are called the magic edit button, the magic this. So I think for sure the best case scenario is for Adobe to buy Canva. I know I keep wishing that Adobe would buy Canva, but considering if you remember before with Adobe XD and Figma, XD wasn't that great. Figma was so crazy popular. They tried to purchase it and then it got blocked by the powers that be. And so that never happened. I think that could possibly be the same case. Maybe that's why they haven't even tried to purchase it, or maybe it's not even for sale or an option. But either way, I think Canva is definitely where you want to spend your time in terms of learning new skills and building out your portfolio, especially if you have templates. It is only getting more and more popular every day. And I honestly wish I had jumped on the bandwagon earlier. It was really hard to tell in the beginning if they were going to win or PicMonkey. And I know I'm probably like the only person that's still sad that PicMonkey is not popular. But I chose a loser. I chose PicMonkey. It happens, right? It's hard to tell when new technologies come out and they're both competing. It's kind of like right now with AI, right? Like, is it ChatGPT that's going to win? Is it Google? I mean, I don't think it's Google. Is it Claude, right? So it's a race and everyone is trying to pick the winner. And it's actually very exciting in terms of AI, but I'm just going on and on now about random things. So the whole point is Canva is the way to go. And I hope everyone is having a fabulous, wonderful day. And remember, if you would like to learn Canva, I have a free 5-day Canva 101 course. I will leave a link to that below and I will talk to everyone later. Bye.